Woman contracts rare bacterial infection on 12-hour flight. In a rare case, a woman contracted a potentially deadly bacterial infection while on a 12-hour flight from Japan to Germany, according to a new report. Called meningococcal disease, this bacterial infection is generally transmitted only through close contact, for example, by kissing or living in close quarters with someone who is sick, according to the World Health Organization. The new report is only the third case ever reported of this disease being transmitted on an airplane, said Yoshi Hakizu, of the Chiba Prefectural Institute of Public Health in Chiba, Japan, who helped investigate the case. Hakizu presented the case on October 5 at ID Week, an infectious disease conference in San Diego. Meningococcal disease is caused by the bacterium meningitidis. About 10% of the population carries this bacteria in their nose and throat without showing any symptoms of disease. But the bacteria can cause serious illness if it gets into the blood or the brain. In the brain, the bacteria can cause meningitis, a swelling of the membranes that cover the brain and spinal cord. In the blood, it can cause an infection called septicemia. The woman and her husband, both in their 50s, were traveling from Japan to Germany on August 8, 2015, according to the report. They happened to be on the same flight as a team of Scottish and Swedish Scouts who were returning from the World Scout Jamboree, an international gathering of Scouts ages 14 to 17. 6 of the Scouts later developed meningococcal disease in an outbreak that was linked to attendance at the Jamboree. 27 devastating infectious diseases. The married couple do not sit directly next to the Scouts, but sat in a row behind and across the aisle from the Scottish Scouts. They noticed that one of the Scouts seated in front of them was coughing throughout the flight, the report said. Once they arrived in Germany, the couple hopped on another flight to Spain, where they went sightseeing. But a few days later, on August 11, the woman felt tired and developed pain in her throat and a cough. Her husband also developed pain in his throat and a mild fever. They felt sick for the rest of their trip, but felt somewhat better upon their return to Japan on August 16, the report said. However, on September 19, the woman developed a sudden high fever and chills, as well as pain in her joints. She visited 4 healthcare facilities and underwent tests before she was finally hospitalized on September 25. The fluid in her joints tested positive for an meningitis bacteria, which means she had a blood infection within meningitis that spread to her joints. Samples taken from the husband's nose and throat also tested positive for an meningitis, although he did not develop further symptoms. Both the woman and her husband were infected with the same strain of an meningitis that caused the outbreak in the Scouts, the report said. The woman was treated with antibiotics and recovered. Meningococcal disease is rare in Japan, with only about 3 cases per 10 million people, the researchers said. The new report strongly suggests that an meningitis was transmitted from the Scottish Scouts to the Japanese couple during their international flight, the researchers wrote in their report. Still, the overall risk of transmitting meningococcal disease on an airplane is low, Hakizu said. But it can happen. In 2005, officials in Australia reported cases of 2 people who got sick with an meningitis after traveling on a flight from Los Angeles to Sydney. Officials determined it was likely that one of the infected passengers spread the bacteria to the other passenger, or both of the infected individuals got the bacteria from another person on the flight who wasn't showing symptoms. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that passengers who sit next to someone with an meningitis on a flight that is more than 8 hours long receive preventive antibiotics. A longer flight increases the chance of transmission, Hakizu said.